everybody, welcome to Sandridge Secondary School History Department. I'm just going to quickly introduce you to our staff. There are 4 of us currently. That is myself, Miss Bacon, who is Head of Department, and Mr Rutter, who is from the Senior Leadership, Mr Green, who is in charge of the Key Stage 4 curriculum, and Mrs Hallett. In Year 7, what we will be focusing on is really English history, and that's going to be focusing on the Norman Conquest and medieval England, moving on to the Tudor period and also the English Civil War, and really looking at the changes that took place in society during this period. And we finish off by looking at England's sort of spread across the world and our colonial past, including our role with slavery. We then, in Year 8, go on to look at Britain's empire again and the Industrial Revolution, but particularly looking at the social changes that took place and the fight for political change for the ordinary people of Britain. Then we start looking at the 20th century and we look at the suffragette movement, again political change and the impact of World War I, World War II and the Holocaust. And the final thing that we focus at, looking at our more inclusive area of the curriculum, is looking at protests by minority groups to achieve change in society and equality of opportunity.
So at GCSE, you will have picked your options at the end of Year 8, and in Year 9 we first of all look at crime and punishment, look at crime from the year 1000 up to modern day and how it's changed or continued. We then move on to Whitechapel, which includes obviously the famous one, which is Jack the Ripper. In Year 10, we look at Elizabeth during the Tudor period and her reign and some of the problems that were associated with that. We then move to Weimar Germany after World War I up until World War II and how basically Hitler came into power eventually. Once we finish that, we'll finish off with the Cold War before we get you ready for your exams. These are some of the proposed trips that we have for history. So in Year 7, we'd like to take our students to the Tower of London. In Year 8, it's the battlefields, so places like Menin Gate. Year 9, the Palaces of Justice. Year 10 is a GCSE trip to Germany to go and look at World War II and Cold War aspects. And then in 6th form, we take a trip down to the House of Commons.